Breaking news, CNN learning that El Salvador has rejected the Trump administration's request to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia. That is the man who was mistakenly deported to a notorious mega prison over a month ago from Maryland to El Salvador. One U.S. official telling CNN that El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, has made it clear that he will not release Abrego Garcia. But, of course, the reality of it is that he's there because Trump sent him there because he asked Bukele to take these deportees. And Trump is now making a stunning admission. I mean, it's maybe not, maybe it shouldn't be stunning, but it is because he's actually saying it now. He is saying that he could get Abrego Garcia back if he wanted to, but he doesn't.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you.
Okay, Simon Sandoval-Moshenberg is out front now, the attorney for Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And Simon, I'm glad to talk to you again. And obviously, this story is moving here even as we speak. Your reaction to what we just heard there, the president saying he could pick up the phone, acknowledging to Terry Moran he could pick up the phone, he could make the call, he could say bring him back, and that Kilmar Abrego Garcia would come back. I believe that contradicts what the Trump lawyers have been telling you in court, right? They've been saying that he couldn't just pick up the phone and bring your client back.
Yeah, I mean, the government has been talking out of both sides of their mouth pretty much since the beginning of this case. They say one thing in the press, they say another thing in court filings. This is just another example. I find President Trump entirely credible when he says that he could get Kilmar Abrego back with one phone call. Later in that same interview, he said that there were lawyers of his who were advising him not to make that phone call. We don't know who those people are, but we're going to find out.
Who those lawyers are. So you don't know who they are if he's referring specifically to individuals. I mean, it's unclear if he's referring to lawyers, general people, but he says lawyers, but you don't know who they are right now.
Right. The judge today essentially restarted the discovery process. So now we're going to be getting documents from the government. We have 9 days to take depositions of various government officials, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out, who said what to whom, when, and if anyone is telling, the cabinet officials and the president not to act in good faith here. We're going to find out who that is.
All right, Simon, literally as we were coming to air, there was another development in this case, and this is from the Department of Homeland Security. They have just shared another request for a protective order filed by the wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So we knew about one petition for a protective order. They have now said that there was a second one. They're putting it out there. In it, she describes him taking her phone and slapping her during an argument. That this particular incident that this refers to is in August of 2020. She describes him breaking her phone and acting violently with police officers. Now, I just want to be clear, he wasn't charged with a crime connected with that incident or the other one that DHS has put out, and his wife rescinded the request. But what is your request to the, I guess two things, your response to the government releasing this, and were you already aware of it prior to, us talking about it here?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been representing Kilmar Abrego Garcia for over a month now, and I've never had the chance to speak with him in my life, right? Because he's being held incommunicado in Salvadoran prisons. The whole country's been talking about him for over a month. We've been, the one person who hasn't had the chance to speak yet is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. If the government is so convinced that they've got him dead to rights, that they've got all this evidence against him, bring him back and put him on trial. And then he'll take the witness stand and he'll get to speak for himself and he'll get to respond to all these allegations.
Is it just so I understand though, are you literally finding out about things like these protective orders, I mean, in the media or when DHS puts them out? I mean, are you even able to have that information prior to, say, us talking about it in this interview?
Oftentimes we find out about these allegations when they come out in the press precisely because they're not bothering to file any of this stuff into the court case because they know it's irrelevant, because they know that none of these things, make up for the fact that they deported him, admittedly by them, by mistake.
All right, so President Trump in this interview insists that Abrego Garcia has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles, that literally MS-13. And he seemed to refer to this photo. So here's what he said to ABC News, to Terry Moran about it.
He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
All right, I'll just say, Simon, we'll put them up. On the left is the photo Trump is talking about. someone apparently added MS13 above each symbol. That's the Photoshop that Terry Moran's referring to, claiming that that is what those symbols stand for. On the right is your client's hand when he met with Senator Van Hollen earlier this month. So that's when we got the photo from El Salvador. No MS13, there are those symbols there. I just want to ask you a couple really basic questions, odd to ask, but has your client ever had the actual letters and numbers MS13 tattooed on his knuckles?
No, and this is why we don't try cases, in the media with drip by drip. We try cases in court with admissible evidence, right? And there's no way that Photoshop photo would ever stand up in court.
All right. Well, I appreciate your laying this out, as we know, and I will just say MS13 experts tell PolitiFact that none of the symbols that were actually on the knuckles, they put MS13 above them, but are known signifiers for the gang. So the things that were actually there, PolitiFact says, are not known to be known signifiers for the gang, just to make sure that we put out as many facts as we can in this. Simon, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Always good to be here.
All right. Good to see you.